Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you're well. We are into our final stretch for Tynker. We've got this project here to do with variables today, and then we've got expressions in Python. So we're going to code in Python. So we're going to continue with Tynker, and we are going to start to add elements to our game. So when we're in Tynker, we make sure that we're signed into tynker.com. I know most of you know this already. Some of you may have forgotten, but that's okay. Sign in with your email account. Make sure you look for the little Google button, and you should be signed into Chrome. It'll work best in Chrome because it'll remember you, okay? We look for the module called variables today. You'll see next to it there will be something that's called expressions. Ignore expressions for the moment because this one is quite long. It's about 15 parts long, but they're tiny, tiny, tiny little steps all the way through. Inside the variables today, you will come across some new language. In the third part, you will see something called strings. They explain what strings are. Strings is a fancy name for text within coding. So, we've touched on variables before, but the variables in here are using actual figures, and they call them integers, so proper numbers inside here, where the numbers have very precise values. So when we've been in Scratch before, you will have seen, or you may have remembered this, where we put a variable in, and we call it anything that we want. But you can call it anything you want in Python too, which is why they do this in Scratch in the first place. They allow you to give it a name for anything. So in a second, you will see the variable is called energy. So you'll see that in a second. In here, when you go to your Tynker, you will see that there's a thing called fuel up. Underneath here, I'm not sure if you can see my mouse. Yes, you can. In here at the bottom, just out of sight here, I've got it in the next slide or so, it's called hints. And the hints, they kind of guide you through the bits that you're going to get stuck on. I'm going to show you in a second what I got stuck on. So I did this thing on purpose. I did it wrong on purpose. So as I go through here, you will see that my energy is my variable. So I've called it energy because this character here needs enough energy, and it has to be the precise amount of energy to get to this bag of dust, this magic dust here. So as I put my energy in, I've given it a value of 20. But because my values need to go up in blocks of 10, they need to be in units of 10. They're the rules, really. So I've gone forward, and then I need to go and turn left when I get to the corner here, and then I need to go forwards again. And what I've done is I've given it a number of forwards so that it can get through to the pixie dust itself. These are the hints. The hints are really helpful in Tynker because Tynker goes quite slow. But it tells me that the energy is 20, but I know that 1, 2, 3, 4, or at least 1, 2, 3. There are 4 areas, but she's going to need to go and use 3 parts. So if I just go, can I minimize this? And you will see, you should start to see my Chrome window. So as we type in here, what I like about this as well is that it's got like a little mini IDE, this development environment. And so this development environment allows us to type really quickly. So I'm going to put my, start to type my initial variable. And so, quick tip, put both of them in and use the backspace button, the back arrow. And so in here, I'm going to go and put my energy in, and then I'm going to go and forward, turn left, forwards. I think it's one more, forwards, 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 yes. and then hit play. And then she's going to go and run this in this little mini IDE. I have an error in my code. Energy is not defined in my ID in my code. So in my little IDE here, what have I done that's wrong? In my description, underneath, in my hints, it will give me the error, and it also tells me the line, which is exactly what happens in your code builders, or when you're in your text editors when you come to code for real in year 7 and 8. So let's go and put that in now and give it a little play. Those of you who would have spotted it, you'll see that it would have been in a different color as well. You did not reach the goal, try any more code, or changing what you currently have. So there's an error with what it is that I currently have. Can you work out what the energy values need to be? And what is it that I'm doing wrong in my code? Can you work this out before I start typing? So before I start typing in here, can you work out what the error is? So I'm going to go and see if this is going to work. I'm going to hit play and retest my code. Let's check it out. So syntax in here is extremely important. You have to be as precise as you possibly can, or else the code isn't going to work and your little module in here isn't going to be able to read what it is that you've typed. Pretty much all of them so far have been like this. And I wish you luck. If you have any problems with the way that your code works, send a screenshot and you can email me in the usual way. As always, Year 6, good luck.